Hey, it's me. I'm back. What's the date today? It's Monday. Monday the 7th of October. Um, I feel like I've not recorded in such a long time. Um, I think the last time I recorded properly was um, about 2 weeks ago. So it was when I was on leave. But I haven't really recorded since. I'm just going to boot up my Minecraft world here. I did tinker around with some settings in Minecraft. Not in Minecraft, sorry, in OBS to try and see if I can get on top of the encoding error message. Even though I'm now on my own Bedrock server. As if you watched the previous video, you'll notice that it was very choppy. So I've adjusted some settings. See now OBS still says that encoding is overloaded. So let's see what happens. I need to just get my bearings. Sleep. I've not really been playing Minecraft the past 2 weeks. I haven't been playing properly. I've not been playing how I was. So it is a little bit choppy, but it's not bad. Right. Let's go somewhere where we can talk. So obviously you know where we're headed now. So we're heading back over to the church. So yeah, I was on leave and I went back to work, and you know when you go back to work from holiday and then literally in day one it seems like, you know, that you've never been away, and it's just back to the same old shit basically. I went back on my first day and I felt like that, which is like relatively normal for anyone. But like during my it's very choppy, isn't it? Why? It's not too bad, but it's not as bad as last time. Yeah, I kind of returned, and I think during my week off, like, you know, I did some baking on the Friday. I had the electrician in, and I had some electrical work done, and that was it really. And I think usually I'd be playing Minecraft all week, and I think before I went on leave, I was thinking in my head, I was like, right, I'm gonna go and really do some heavy work on Minecraft, on the church building stuff, and I didn't really touch it during that week. And then I went back to work, and then I came back from work on that first day feeling upset, depressed, and like it's just all the same stuff. Nothing's ever going to change. Not this. I've had a week off, and now I've just gone back, and it's exactly like this. And that was that. And then through that week, it's just seemed to get progressively worse. So I think by the end of the week, I kind of lost it. And I think I probably contributed to creating a situation, and then I was then really upset and really angry about the way that situation was responded to and stuff like that. And then I went. I started feeling unwell at the end of that week, and I had this super cold, this sore throat, this super cold that I've had in the past. So I felt completely run down with that. That started on like the last shift of the week, and I was due to have 2 days off. And then I actually went into work on my first day off. I remember going home. I remember going home on my last shift, and I started feeling unwell. And it got worse, and the sore throat started, and then it went from there. And I remember, I think I slept till about 2 o'clock in the morning that night, and then I didn't really get any sleep between 2 and 5, and then I might have slept between 5 and 7. I got up early, I was like, might as well get up and do something. I ended up doing a load of laundry, and then I got a call from work, and I had to go in and cover. I wouldn't say I had to cover, but I went in and covered anyway, mainly because of what's going on at work, and I kind of feel better that I'm at work, not keeping myself busy, basically, rather than being sat at home and just feeling depressed and just pondering about everything and just like stuck in silence. So yeah, I know I'm not really doing much on the moment on Minecraft. I'm just trying to explain this the best way I can. So that was that, and then at the end of that week, no. So I went in the cupboard, came home, felt absolutely exhausted, felt worse, and I said to my work, I said I'm not well, I'm coming down with something, and I felt so rough when I came home, and I then had this one day off to catch up. Well, I woke up on my next day off, and it was my last day off technically, because I was supposed to have 2 days off, and then I was doing another 5 days in a row, and then I remember like stressing. I was stressing because I was like, it's my last day off, because I worked yesterday. I've got a mound of ironing to do. I've got cleaning to do. I've got to put a meal plan together because I plan my meals in advance for across the week, so I know what I'm doing. I've got groceries to get, and I said I feel absolutely exhausted. I feel crap. I just feel awful because I don't feel well. But I thought, well, I've got to do it because I've got another 5 days in work. I don't have a choice. So I actually didn't go out on that day because the weather was awful, and I was like, I'm not going out in that. And I think I kind of left everything to the next day. So I went into work, and I remember going into work and saying, I feel absolutely exhausted. I said, I don't feel like I've had a day off. I said, still don't feel well. And I'm in the next 5 days and all this. And then across that week, which was last week, I had to try and catch up with everything I couldn't do the week before. Groceries, get ironing done, get meals planned and stuff, and then keep on top of everything else that's going on in my head. So, yeah, that was that. And then I kind of got through last week, and then I wouldn't say I put the previous week, but what happened the previous week behind me, I just put it to the back of my mind because I was undecided what I wanted to do, how I wanted to proceed, and that was that. And then I obviously, tried to keep on going, and last week I did another 5 days, and it was a relatively okay week. And then I got to the end of the week, and then something else happened, and again, I might have triggered that situation, but based on something that was happening in the environment around me. But I was fine, and then I literally just was angry from that point. And then I literally went home and just was thinking like, right, I've got to call someone for help. This has just gone too far. Is that when I'm in my worst moments, that's when I'm thinking the worst, and I'm thinking, right, I'm panicking, I've got to do something. But on the back of this, like last week, after I was sick, I had a doctor's appointment on Monday to go to the doctors, and I had a telephone call with the doctors, and it was to discuss my concern for getting a diagnosis for ADHD and getting sorry, I've got hiccups. A diagnosis for ASD, autism spectrum disorder, or autism, and kind of felt the last 2 months that like I'm struggling to cope now or keep on going with it, and you try and get help, and I tried to get help, but I just can't get help from anyone. And then whoever I speak to, ever like, I speak to loads of people. I speak to my employer, I speak to my close friend, I speak to my family, I speak to one GP, I speak to another healthcare professional, I speak to another doctor, and everyone has a different way of tackling it and a different opinion. And just keep going round in circles, pondering what do I do? You know, how do I deal with this situation to make it better for me, so I'm happier and I can get my life back, sort of, so to speak. And I can, yeah. Because the reality of it, the whole situation is that I couldn't carry on going in the direction that I was going in. I couldn't live with it anymore, and I just wanted out, basically. Um, so I had this phone call with the doctors, and then I was talking to the doctors about it, and it was a over 30-minute call, and I literally thought I'd be given 10 minutes at the most, and they try and rush me off the phone because I know that the doctors are really struggling, and it's like 4 to 6 weeks for an appointment and all this. And then I was trying to explain, you know, that I feel like I'm going through a mental health crisis, but I'm going around in circles, and I'm trying to get help, and I just can't get help. And it was just very, very hard to get that message across on the phone. And I explained that I've been on the waiting list for, it'll be 2 years at the end of the year, and you know, I've been told it's going to be another 7 years for an ADHD diagnosis on the NHS. And then the doctor said to me, like, I said I've already rang them when I felt at my worst, and I feel like I'm in a crisis, and I ring them and for trying to get an estimate of, you know, I'm not asking for a definite day, I'm not asking for a definite week, I'm not asking for a definite month, and just give me some indication of where I am on the list. Is it going to be a couple of months? Is it going to be a couple of years? What? Just so I know, because I can't carry on waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and not getting any help, because every single day is a struggle at the moment. And the past 2-3 years, it's got progressively worse, and yeah, I need it sorted in like the next 5 years before I'm 40. I'm 35 now. 30 will be 36 in March. Anyway, so I tried explaining this whole to the doctor. That was quite hard to get what I wanted to say across, and I think the doctor was more interested in telling me about his life story and what his profession was and everything else. And I was like, I've waited all this time for an appointment, and I'm desperate for help, and like, I can't even voice my concerns, I can't get my message across, I can't, because you're more interested in telling me about your life story and what you're clinically qualified in and what you want to achieve. And it's like, I just want to tell you what's wrong with me. That's the whole point of the doctor's call, isn't it? Anyway, so managed to get sort of somewhere. So the doctor told me that it's going to be, on the autistic side, it's going to be possibly another 5 years. And I said, that's ridiculous. I said, so I'm going to be in my early 40s by the time any of this even gets tackled. They start pulling this apart and trying to deal with it. And I said, I can't carry on. So the doctor said that he thinks that the ADHD side needs tackling more, and medication would be the best pathway. So obviously at the moment I'm trying to pursue the whole thing under the NHS, and that seems to be clearly getting me absolutely nowhere, because the state of the NHS and the amount of patients that are in crisis, and this is why the waiting lists are so huge. And there is an alternative. That's what the doctor said to me, and it's called Right to Choose. So basically, you have the right to choose your own mental health care provider, and if you feel that waiting on the NHS is taking too long, and I can be referred to an alternative provider, and that's done by my doctor, and but that doesn't entirely solve the problem, because he said yes, it will be noticeably faster, but they might not do as thorough a job, because you won't be seen in person. He said you'll be probably seen over a video call on Teams or Zoom or whatever you want to call it. It's all done online, the tests and assessments. He said it wouldn't be done like that if it was through the NHS, through an NHS service, and but they said it will be noticeably faster. And then he gave me a few options, and obviously I said I'm trying to go private, and private would be obviously money is an issue, so I just I have a fixed figure in my head of what I'm prepared to pay. Well aware of the cost, and he was saying if it's an autism diagnosis, he said you're looking up to costs up to £5,000, and tackling the ADHD would be cheaper. But he strongly thinks that medication would be beneficial to me, and to tackle the ADHD first and then just see what autism symptoms are left. So I kind of walked away from that phone call feeling like I hadn't really got anywhere. No further. I mean, I got some clarification on things, but he said that basically if I choose to get referred to another service, it means that I can't stay on the waiting list with Trafford Extended Services, which is where I live. Because my concern was, I'm going to go onto another waiting list. I don't know the queue length, and I could be sat in that other queue for maybe 2-3 years. Might be noticeably faster, but I could still be getting a letter or a phone call from the original waiting list that I'm on, saying right, now is your chance, now's your turn. But he said I have to be removed from that list. So that's fair enough, because clearly, 5-7 years I'm not going to get anywhere. So I think I decided, I think I'm pretty much 95% decided, is that I'm going to tackle the ADHD privately, and I'm prepared to pay under 1,000 roughly for it to be dealt with, and then leave the autistic side to be done under Right to Choose, and under the NHS. If it's the autism that's if it's the Asperger, oh my god, get your head right. If it's the ADHD that needs tackling more at the moment, and you say medication would be beneficial, then fine. So I am looking at another provider, and I think that provider I'm looking at is is £655, which I'm happy to pay for. Wouldn't say I exactly have 655. It comes out of my savings, so but that includes diagnosis. It would probably be done online, so it would be done over Teams. It would be done online assessments and all that, and then it includes writing to the doctor if I am positive and it is officially diagnosed as ADHD, and then they'll write again to the doctor, and then they'll say, right, this is the treatment plan, this is the medication we are suggesting, this is his proposed plan, and then that includes treatment for the next 12 months from when you start the plan, and it is renewable, unfortunately, for the treatment side. Medication is not included. The medication is all very new to me. I'm unsure. I'm currently on meds for I'm on antidepressants and I'm on beta blockers, and those meds haven't really changed in several years, but the medication cost could be 25 to £100 a month, and it's like, yes, again, that's a cost I can't afford, but I don't really feel there is any alternative to feel better, basically, put it that way. And I feel if I don't do something, this just is gonna get worse. I could lose my job, I could lose my flat, I could lose my life, and for me not to do anything is, yeah. I know this is pretty deep. I probably didn't intend to go this deep. But yeah. I didn't even know why I'm recording this video today. I wasn't really supposed to be just to discuss this, but so yeah, that's kind of my plan. So I'm gonna I've got another doctor's appointment booked for 4 to 6 weeks time, so it'll be in November, and that's a follow-up appointment, and then that's to discuss how I want to proceed. And that seems miles away, basically. We're only in beginning of October. So yeah, so I've had that on my mind ever since, and then whatever else is going on in work, and it's kind of left me feeling quite deflated. It's like I just don't. Since I've gone on annual leave, I've just struggled to engage with stuff. I've just kind of, I wouldn't say, maybe I have burnt out on Minecraft slightly, but I haven't had the enthusiasm to carry on doing what I was doing with building in this church build and stuff. And maybe the issue with the roof, with it not being symmetrical, that probably put me off a bit and stuff like that. And I have got a plan to correct it and stuff, but I was really enjoying this and stuff, and I want to get back to it. And I do load up my computer and open Minecraft and think, right, I'm gonna do it today, I'm gonna really try and engage with it, but it just doesn't end up like that. It just ends up to me switching the computer off and just giving up and lying on the sofa, and then just maybe watching a few episodes on Netflix, which is what I did yesterday. Like even yesterday, I didn't feel like I had a day off because I went out to go and get coffee. I went to go and get out, something for lunch, and go and get maybe a meal for that night because I had nothing in. And I ended up making a phone call to my family, and then I'm making a phone call to my best friend, and to discuss, because he's in a similar boat, and then discussing about what happened about the doctors and what the doctors said, and then everything else, and then discussing about work. And I ended up just sat on a park bench outside the supermarket talking about it for ages, for like an hour, and then ended up coming home and then sitting on another bench outside my property, talking about it for a couple of hours. And then yeah, I came in and I was like putting the groceries away, and I was like, looked at the time, and I was like, I just feel I've spent the whole of my first day off just on the phone for hours talking about all of this, and I don't feel any better for it. But I feel like I need to get it off my chest, and I feel I need to talk about it. And then I was reflecting on work and reflecting on stuff, and stuff like that, and And then it was late, and it was like 3 o'clock, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like I've lost a whole day, I've wasted a whole day. And I put some food in the air fryer to try and have some lunch, and I was like, right, hang up some washing in the back bedroom, and maybe I should try and catch up and get my day off back and stuff like that. And then I was like, right, mate, I should go on Minecraft, and I should really try and engage with it, and try and relax and try and do something I enjoy to take my mind off stuff. And it's just like, it just doesn't work like that. I just ended up giving up and then just retreating to the sofa, and then just watching back-to-back episodes of like The Good Doctor, for example, which I was really enjoying. I tried watching it last year, I think, or the year before, and I got to like episode 7, and it's like I started rewatching it from the beginning, and because I can relate to a lot of stuff, and I kind of I like those hospital dramas. I was a Holby City fan from when I was 14 years old till the day it stopped broadcasting, and I like those hospital kind of documentaries, dramas, and stuff like that. So that's all I did yesterday, and then I went to bed relatively early, and because I just gave up, because I just feel exhausted mentally. And then woke up this morning, and then I was like, I just can't, it's Monday again, and I just can't be bothered. It's my last day off, and I just feel like I don't feel rested, I don't feel like I've done anything to enjoy myself or have a day off. And it's like, I think, right, I've got to do this, I've got to shave, I've got to go and get groceries, because I need to, I'm in the next 5 days, and I've got to write a meal plan out, and I've got to make a grocery list to go out for groceries, and I've got to, got to fold on my washing, and I've got to, put it in a pile for ironing, and then, what do I do the rest of my day? And it's like, yeah, should I play some Minecraft and maybe record a video on YouTube and go back to kind of what I was doing before? And it's like, I'm just sat in front of my computer, and then it's like, oh, I just don't know where to begin. I just don't think I've even got the mentality to do this. And yeah, so I've kind of like usually record a Minecraft video, and I'm going around, showing what I've done off cam, and the work on the church build, and stuff like that. And the truth is, like, I've not really done much. Like, nothing's really changed on this. Like, I tried going on it a couple of days ago, and I tried to get back into playing on it, and the furthest I got was maybe building a slight structure over the iron farm that I was building, and that's as far as I got. And I just, yeah, so, but yeah, I wanted to make a video today. I wanted to record a session, because I kind of wanted to just carry on doing what I was doing before, but there's been such a gap, and I kind of feel like all my Minecraft's ground to a halt. And then it's like, yeah, well, this is the reason why. So yeah, so I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. So this has been mainly me talking, but literally I could walk around and talk, and there's nothing really to see, there's nothing really to show, because nothing's really changed. It's probably far easier that I just stay still in the world and talk. But yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah, so basically, my plan for today is just maybe do some Minecraft and try and do something that's, should help me relax and enjoy myself, and sort of. But it's hard, because everything is on my mind at the moment, and I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere, and I don't feel like there's a way forward, and stuff like that. And I don't feel like things are getting any better. And then I'm thinking about the week ahead, and I'm thinking, oh my god, it's going to be the same thing again. And I know that's life, but it's not, unfortunately, how I work, not how my brain works. And then I'm thinking, oh, do you know what's going to happen this week? And then it's like, yeah. So I think I'm off next Sunday. This coming Sunday. I'm in the next 5 days. I'm off next Sunday, and then I'll be probably catching, because I have one day off. I'll be catching up with the usual, the laundry, you know, maybe getting groceries and ironing and whatever. And yeah, I don't know if I'll get to play any Minecraft, but. And then I think I'm in maybe 1 or 2 days, and then I have a day off, and then I work a few more days, and then I have a day off. So it's kind of the end of these 5 day blocks for now. I think, I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, I kind of need to just carry on with the church, and carry on with it, and because I was enjoying that, but the yeah, I need to fix the mistakes that I've made with the build, um, to finally fix the roof, and then I need to carry on working on the interior and stuff like that, and just, yeah, stuff like that. But at the same time, maybe I need to take a slight break from the church, and then go onto a new build, and start all over again with something else. And then, but I just try and get back into it. I just don't have the mentality, to be honest. So yeah, it's hard. So try and record another session on the Sunday like I used to. It's just with the way shifts have been, it's just kind of been impossible to kind of follow that routine that I was doing and stuff like that. I bought 2 books last week, because I used to be able to read, but I can't read anymore, because I find it hard to sit still and read a book. And I think several years ago I really made an effort to try and read Harry Potter, and I managed to get through. I think I was on the second book, which was, I completed the Philosopher's Stone, and then I was on the Chamber of Secrets, and I think that book is still not finished, and then that was it. And then I've tried buying a few more adult books since then, and and I keep saying to myself, right, I'm gonna sit still, I'm gonna take this book into work, I'm gonna read on my break and stuff like that, and it doesn't happen. I bought 2 books last week, and I was like, right, I'm gonna buy these books. They weren't expensive. There's one book about a train with a load of murders, and like trying to figure out who done it. And then there was another fantasy book that was probably like more Lord of the Rings style and stuff like that, which I'm not 100% sure that I'd cope with it, because I'm not really. I find those sort of things too complicated. But I did it because I wanted to take my mind off stuff, you know. But I literally tried last week, and I managed to read 1 page. But that's because I was sat in between a load of people and talking to me at the same time. Maybe I need to just take myself away and go into a quiet space and read with no distractions. But yeah, didn't really get anywhere. So maybe I need to try that again this week. So yeah, it's going to be another fun week, I think. I did last week. And I was like, I'd had 1 day off because I covered on my last day off, and I was like, right, I've got another 2 days off this time, and I was like, I'm really going to make the most of it, and I'm going to feel rested. And I was like, I just feel like I've not rested at all, and I think it's still granted that I'm not 100% better from this cold that's wiping me out again. I'm almost, rid of it. I mean, I'm sleeping properly, and you know the sore throat's gone, and I'm just a bit stiffly and sometimes bunged up, but you know it's almost gone. I think by the end of this week it'll be fully gone, but yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be another tough week. Um, I just have to kind of like bite my lip and not let things get to me. But that is extremely hard with what's going on at the moment, and yeah. So hopefully I can maybe make some progress today off camera, and maybe you know at the end of the week I can go on Minecraft for a bit and I can record another session, and then maybe yeah I can go back to what I was doing and show you like this is my progress, this is what I've done. Maybe I can come back at the end of the week and say, oh, I feel a bit better this week, it's not been a bad week, and you know, because I like every single week just feels the same, it's the same, there's something that happens every single week, and I'm absolutely sick of it, and don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with me health wise and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna leave it there, and then yeah, I'm sorry this has been very 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 deep, but this is stuff that I've wanted to talk about for so long. I haven't really spoken about the full story, and one day I will sit in front of the camera and I will talk about it. Well, I know I said I would, but yeah. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you all at the end of the week. Bye.